afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for January 3rd, 2020, after 3 p.m. Can you feel it? It's interesting, we're so used to hearing, verbal, like voices and stuff, and listening and viewing, but feeling. You can understand more and more. We're like a tuning fork, and the harmony gets more and more finite as we travel deeper within ourselves. It's like a rough road. When you're driving, I'm sure you've all experienced this, and you take a road, or you're on a road, and it's, it is just really a mess, and it's in potholes, and you end up, which I've done, you end up looking for a dirt road, and even the dirt road's better shape than the paved road. And then you come across a stretch of road that is smooth. You could have a vehicle that would normally ride like a buckboard, and it's like smooth like a Rolls Royce as you're driving all of a sudden. And that's how this is, as our journey becomes deeper and deeper with who and what we are. We begin to realize that we have the harmony and the peace and the contentment without the ego mind and the confidence to just flow. You're not stopping yourself, you're not obstructing yourself, you're not arguing with yourself, you're not trying to keep yourself from easing on down the road. You ever notice how we've been taught through generations, always go up the hill, always go up. Going up the hill has the most resistance, takes the most effort. And this is how the civilization has been trained. You've got to struggle, scrape, scratch, persevere, and just gut it out to the top of the mountain. Instead of just allowing things to just take you, because you have the confidence, and you don't have any energies or frequencies of worry, unknown, stress, anxiety. You just become at ease because you know. And that's what's happening to the civilization of the planet. And as it's accelerating, because I know you all know that the time, or the construct, or the con of time on this planet is, it becomes so quick that it is not even noticeable. See what I mean? In other words, and it doesn't matter, because a lot of the times, when we were children, it was like it seemed like it took forever for things to take place. As kids, we were constantly going, when is this coming? When are we going to be here? When is this going to happen? And why is it taking so long? And then the body ages, and then we get to the point where all of a sudden time is almost non-existent. Well, that's happening across the board with young ones and old ones, because the time element is being disintegrated. Okay, now imagine this. Imagine if you knew the cycles of the cosmos. You felt the frequency. You felt it through the deepness of your heart-mind and the kingdom of God within you. You felt it. So you would immediately know that the elements, the sky, the sun, the setting, the day, the night, you would know. You wouldn't need to have a clock. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't need to. Because as long as there was light, you would automatically know with the frequency that this was an active time. You would also know by being intimate with your own body and understanding the relationship that your body is with the God within. You would begin to understand that all you have to do, all you care to do, is to plug into the everything. So you become sentient with all that there is. You literally know when, how, where, without having to look incessantly at a wristwatch or a smartphone clock or worried about what I'm running late or anything. It's like, imagine you contact someone on Universal Communicator on the planet, and you say, I will be there in a blink, okay? So you don't use elements of time. You say, I'll be there in a blink. They will know what that means, because you will have the transportation to blink yourself there and be there. And then you interact. We will transform as we're doing now, but it will become more and more accelerated. Each morning that you wake up, you will notice something different. Something has shifted. You will also notice that there will be frequencies that you're not used to. That you know how we get in the habit of just being in the habit, and everything just gets comfortable, and we're just in that niche or that we're dug in. And so we follow the same procedure, same process. We get up, we do this, we do that. We get up, we do this, we do that. And then when it's time where we feel that it is the time for us to sleep, the moment to sleep, then we do this, we do that, and we do this. And it usually is the same thing every single moment that we exist. We're doing the same things repeatedly. Now, imagine that you have the ability to literally feel everything at your command through your heart mind. You're able to feel everything. You sense everything. You feel everything. And you can direct it on how you wish to direct it. So you may say, well, I'm not interested in feeling these frequencies. They're not for me. They're not pleasant. So I'll negate them. I'll dismiss them. And of course, they'll be dismissed. Now, there's other ones that you wish to embrace, the frequencies. You say, I truly enjoy interacting with these frequencies, okay, because they elevate my own frequency. They generate my frequency to go higher and higher. See, if you're around similar frequencies, and it doesn't have to be in the Homo sapien or the human. It can be with anything. Could be with cats, dogs, animals, whatever. But your frequency is heightened by being around other frequencies of similar balance. So, and I know you've experienced this, that when that happens, you just feel really, really good. You don't have to explain it to yourself. It's a knowing. You feel really, really good. And people say, well, then why do we go out of that? Why do we, it's there, yeah, it was wonderful, but then it's gone. How do we maintain that? How can we have that to be more of a constant rather than a fleeting time? Why can't it be a constant? Well, it can. What happens is that the ego mind starts intervening, and it starts pulling you off into different directions. And then the rest is pretty much self-explanatory. We become more and more involved and danked in with lower then we bring in the stress and worry and the anxieties and fears and everything else. And then we just keep building and building and building and building on that, because we keep embracing the thoughts that the ego mind keeps shooting at us. So how do you maintain it? Simple is one of the biggest keys for us. We have a lot of keys. Simple is one of the biggest keys, because we maintain simplicity, or we're simple, which means not simpletons, but we keep everything non-congested. We choose to be in certain frequencies that are very easy and flow very well for us. And we are not congested. We are just free-flowing. And we breathe easy, and we smile easy, and we're just for ourselves, for us, for each of us, in our own way. It's good. It's a wonderful feeling that we have. And it's not just the feeling. It is a vibrational frequency through the heart, mind, and the kingdom of God within us. And this is how we begin to tap into the regular flow of source creation. Those little sips that we experience as we're in these bodies and with the kingdom of God are glimpses of what the deep connection and the deep flow of consciousness is with prime source creator creation. And when we get to that level, like we start with a theta wave, because we become more and more in stillness. We don't have the chatter. We don't have the interruptions. We don't have the things that we normally carry with us that we become so used to that we don't know that we have them. You see what I mean? We become so used to carrying these stresses, fears, anxieties, worries, concerns, that we get so used to them that we feel they're part of us. You see? And because we feel they're part of us, we literally practice them consistently. And we don't know it, because we're just so used to it. It's just like our breathing. We're so used to breathing that we take it for granted that we don't realize that we shallow breathe most of the time. When you're driving a vehicle, you're shallow breathing. The only time that we start taking heavier breaths is when we become agitated, irritated, anxiety, or excitement. Those are the only times that we start having to breathe more. That's why when we do cardio work, or you do some forms of physical exercise where you get your heart rate up and you get the blood flowing, a maximum of maybe 20 minutes, you then realize that, while this is my breath, you're really pushed to identify the breath and acknowledge that you're breathing heavier, and you're very grateful that you have the lung capacity and the breath to do so. So this will focus you more on your breathing. It's like everything. We become so ensconced with things that we're not aware of them. We're not conscious about them. But then when we start stilling the mind and we start going within ourselves and we start that journey into the kingdom of God, into the gods that we are, we then recognize them. And we recognize them from the position of, these things I don't care to have. I don't care to have these, this, and this. The reason I don't care is because it doesn't serve me any good. He said it's not something that I care to embrace and carry with me during the course of my existence. It is more of but it's a positive thing, because we can say, we can pick and choose. You can get to the point where you can pick and choose the frequencies or the thoughts that the ego mind sends to you, knowing that you are in command through the heart mind over the ego mind. So as you begin to master, each one of us in our own way, we begin to master that of which we are. And this means that we know about our ego mind. It isn't a surprise anymore. We know how the ego mind functions. This is very empowering. It isn't ridicule. It isn't attacking ourselves. It isn't being rough and unfriendly with ourselves. It's the opposite. It's being very kind with ourselves, being very happy with ourselves, and gentle, and we identify them. says, okay, so now I know pretty much how the ego mind operates. I also know that my subconscious mind, and most of the time we fill our subconscious minds with goop, with negatives, because it's a magnet. And we store everything in the subconscious mind. It's kind of like, bags for past experiences. And believe it or not, those savings, those bags, influence us during the course of our existence in these bodies. We don't know that. But then we begin to realize that we know what our subconscious mind is about. We don't need to take books, and you don't need to get PhDs in a corrupt educational system. All you really care to do is to travel within you, and you begin to learn more and more and more. Did Buddha did Buddha go to a university, get a PhD, and then go around and dictate to people on how smart he was? No. That's not the way it works. The mastership and the knowledge that we gain is within us. It always has been. This is why the dark matter frequencies have structured so many things to cause us to seek outside of ourselves. When you're constantly involved with seeking outside of yourself, you never, very rarely do you learn who and what you are. And so you go through your entire existence in that body, and you leave it, you don't realize that a lot of the things that you could have understood, you didn't, because you were too busy, too preoccupied with externality. It was where you're literally immersed in externalism, seeking out advice, seeking out guidance, seeking out direction. And then we atrophy, and we don't embrace thinking for ourselves, leading ourselves, governing ourselves, because that's part of the journey within us. When you discover that you literally are the kingdom of God within you, you then start to blossom and expand, and you start getting excited and saying, this is a absolutely fascinating journey that I'm taking within me that you decided to do. And no one told you to do it. You decided that I want to take this journey within me. Say, you've heard, seek and you shall find. The seeking is within. The finding is within. It's never been outside. So it is it's wonderful, and it's imperative that we stay that course, that we understand, because all of us have mastered the externalism. We know what that is. We all know what it is. And we're faced with it at certain times through the ego mind, and we know what the ego mind is, see? And this is confidence without ego. So it means that, okay, now I know what these, while I'm in this body, I know what these different pieces of me are. And I know how to navigate them, and I know how to supervise them. You see how it starts pinging together, how the pieces start snapping together, and you start forming that picture in your heart mind. You start to realize, aha, this is an absolutely phenomenal, enriching, empowering, collectively expanding my frequencies into higher and higher and higher vibration. And you can literally see it. That you can do a test on the higher and higher frequencies and what they do to different matter and material, which is also a frequency. It's amazing. It's just very fulfilling. So you choose every single moment. Do you choose high frequency, or do you choose low frequency? And And that's what this meditation is, vibrational frequency. And I think you all know with depth, as you begin to expand more and more, that a high vibrational frequency is deep eternal love, is happiness, is joy, is bliss. Everything else flows with you and to you and through you and around you. Once you get to that point, on your own direction, then you begin to understand what a paradise is. Then you begin to understand what a heaven is. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we want to do is we want to relax our bodies. You know, when you think about it, think about how much we use our hands, how much we use our feet, how much we use our eyes. You know, how often you ought to sit sometime and just observe your body. Seriously. Sit in a relaxed position and observe your body. That's it. Nothing else. Just your body. I don't mean go in a mirror and examine it. I just mean sit and observe the body. Listen to the breathing. You know, be. Just be. And you'll be amazed on many things in many frequencies that you'll identify. So in relaxing the body is knowing the body. Do you need some external authority to continually tell you what's wrong with you? Or do you choose to become the master of your own vessel? To understand its functions, to understand how it works, to understand what it needs, and how you can administer those needs, and whether it be emotional or physical. You see? It isn't complicated at all as they, the dark matter frequencies, would like us to believe. It isn't at all. And imagine as you practice this habit and you immerse yourself more and more in it, you then become the actual supervisor of well-being of your physical form. You become the formulator. You know, okay, I know what this is. I know I'm doing this. I know why this is happening. Because the body begins to talk with you more and more. So you relax the body. This is part of mastering your physical vessel. You can't get behind the wheel of a vehicle and drive it safely, can you? If you never knew how to do it. You can't get behind the seat of a jet aircraft and fly it if you've never known how to do it. It's the same with your body. You have to learn how to administer direction for your physical vessel. And this is how you really, truly relax the body. You just say, body, we're going to relax now. Let me know if there's anything that I'm not aware of that I need to pay attention to so I can help that part of you relax as well. And you'll be amazed at the frequencies that body that you're in will send you. And as you do that, the body does relax because it now knows that you know and that you're paying attention to it and that you love it. And you care, your move and frequency is to nurture it and to protect it and to strengthen it. So as we do that with the body, we then move into the now. And the now is everything. The past, the present, the future, all are in the now. They always have been. And in this very moment, in this very split micro-atomic second, we are creating our futures in this now. We are literally creating our futures in this now. Going into the past and bringing it into the future to create your future is a lot of the things that we have done for generations. Now, we experienced those things. They were wonderful, they were challenging, whatever. But we are in the now, and all of that is gone. It is past. So what do? We move forward, and we stay in the now. And then we begin to understand, so if I'm creating my future in this very moment, I will be very attentive on what the thoughts I am embracing and how I am manifesting certain things through my thought creation, which means I get a thought, I turn it into a reality I create. So I pick and choose the thoughts that I choose to embrace, that I choose to make into a reality which then creates. Okay? So the now is all that we will ever have. And in order to stay in the now, to help us stay in the now, we focus on our breathing, because the breath is the now. You know, we breath in through the nose very comfortably. We take in some good air, and we breath in through the nose, and then we say, I am light, I am love, I am. That's 3 seconds. I am light, I am love, I am. And as we do that, we then exhale as a nice, comfortable exhale, breath out through the mouth. And we want to do this at least 6 times while I'm talking. And the breathing focuses on the now, because it is the now. So if you're in a situation where you're miscombobulated, we all have those times, where our body and things just aren't, you know, we can't sleep, and we have things that are, you know, what's this and this, and you have different things coming in, and you're vulnerable to embrace different thoughts that you normally wouldn't embrace, to create the reality, which then feeds the unsettledness and the almost insomnia that so many of us in this country alone are experiencing nightly. And the purpose of the breath is to calm the body and to still the mind. And when you calm the body and you still the mind, you will then begin to relax into a deeper and deeper calmness. And when you still the mind, all these incessant thoughts that are being slung at you, all of these fears and stresses and wondering and this and that, subdue and dissipate, and then eventually you will find yourself falling off to sleep. And you don't have any real thoughts. So this is what, whenever you're in that, you're laying in bed and you just got all kinds of things going on, and you choose to calm it. Still the storm. Still the storm. And I guarantee you, you'll sleep very well. You stay focused on that. The more you do it, the more in habit you become, the more automatic it will be. So now, as we breath in, we're breathing in divine positive energy. This comes from source creation, that which created us, out of pure, deep, eternal love. So when we understand that and are conscious of it, we then understand that the collective consciousness of this planet, Earth, Gaia, and the universes, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, this comes in through the kingdom of God within us, through the God, into the heart mind. And it is a frequency, it's not a voice. Whenever we hear voices, it is the right and left brain talking to each other. That's all it is. See? It gives us the impression in a bicameral state of mind that these are coming from external sources, that they're being transmitted into us, and they're not. It's our brain, right and left hemisphere, talking to each other. So when we talk about this frequency coming in, and this consciousness of divine positive energy, it comes in through the kingdom of God, through source creation of that which we are made of, from. And it literally communicates to us is that we are all that there is, and we are in command and mastery of all frequencies. We know what they are. We can identify them lickety-split. We are not in the dark about them. We know how they affect things. We know how they affect our body. We know how they affect our emotions, how we look at things while we travel in these physical forms. It's the empowerment and this having the knowledge of all of the different assets and I call them assets because they are, that we carry. And you imagine how empowering that is when you can literally say to yourself, okay, I know what this frequency is about. I've experienced it many times before, and basically I don't care to entertain it. And I don't care to embrace this thought coming from the ego mind because I've done that before, and I know what that frequency is about. And so therefore I don't care to do that. Now I will embrace this thought because it gives me a much higher frequency. It connects with my frequency, and it is more about peace, love, and joy than upsettedness and irritation and anger and hatred. That is something I don't care to entertain anymore. You understand that all of us are in the master's seat with ourselves. Nobody else is. And the more you spend time within you, the more you will become empowered to understand how to guide yourself, how to lead yourself, how to love yourself, how to be kind, gentle, peaceful to yourself. Now when you breath out, you're breathing out the awareness of what you are aware of through these senses, these frequencies. You no longer ignore this stuff. You're no longer externalized. You're internalized. Because you know that's where all of the guidance is. All of the knowledge is within you. You will plug into so many frequencies of a higher high. You'll learn how to travel between dimensions. You'll learn how to plug in to the entire cosmos, being in one place and then many at once. This is how you will learn, by being with the journey within you in the kingdom, in the kingdom of God that you are. So we are in the heart mind. We always are in the heart mind, not the ego mind. We are aware of the ego mind. We are conscious of it. And therefore, we know that the heart mind is much more powerful. And the heart mind does a much, much better job on overseeing and supervising and directing the ego mind. It is super powerful. So, we house this temple. We house the kingdom of God within it. And so, we are all one. The one. We're all together. And we have many with us. We have the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, all of the angels, trillions of them, all vibrating at a higher frequency than we are. It doesn't make them better than us, or us better than them. It's just that that's the frequency that they vibrate at. This is why we don't see them that often. But we will see them the more conscious we become, because they will become more aware that we are more conscious, so that we will have more communication with them. And like I say, there's times where some of you are surrounded by up to 10,000 or more of them. They're all the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest and deepest gratitudes. And they're with us 24/7. Same with the ascended masters. Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda, Jesus, El Morya, Abundantia, Thoth, Hell, and many, many, many more. And they've ascended out of their bodies, and they hold God for them. See? We are gods who have ascended into the body. You can ascend in and you can ascend out. It's not all about picturing climbing stairs. You can ascend sideways, you can ascend down, you can ascend up. Okay? So it's all about your frequency and your understanding. So we have all of us together, and we're here to assist and serve. So we form a circle of light, halo, arm in arm, hand in hand. We all join together at the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, who is now resting. And our light is so bright that it eliminates the darkness of sacred space. And I give you an example. There are universes that are the opposite in sacred space than this one. In other words, can you picture that the sacredness of space, or the void, is bright white, brilliant light? It's a reverse field. And all of the planets and all of the constellations and all of the galaxies are inverted in density as far as their color path frequency, which means that you have this universe. It's like people say, was it like a negative? No, the sacredness of space is bright white. It's an emission of light, and the bodies are of a gray, okay, that stand out in the light. You can depict the difference in the shapes and forms. But there are universes like this, and there's many and all kinds of configurations, which are frequencies. So as we begin to move up, we encase this planet in a perfect sphere, and ourselves in perfect spheres, at a very high frequency. So it's a combination of a mixture of the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael, the violet blue purple flaming light of Archangel Michael, the violet ray, the purple transmuting flame, the white fire, the golden light pink light of source creation, of that which created us in all things, and prime source creator God, mother, father God, the masculine and feminine. And we're all family, and we're all one. And this field that is created is super powerful, and nothing of low dark matter frequency can attach to it or connect to it or penetrate it. It's not possible. It literally is not possible. So you're protected constantly. Now, it's your choice. It is your choice of consciousness. Like basically saying, do I care to jump into that goop? Probably about 99.999% of the time you'll say, no way, Jose. So, but if you lower your frequency, you drop your field's energy. So you become more vulnerable. So that's just a knowing. And it's a choice. So as we begin to elevate, levitate ourselves, we move out the body. We're above the head. We're just floating there, all of us. And we immediately call out to the other parts, the rest of our brothers and sisters, the other source creations, the other gods. And so all of the light energy beings and all that there is, all that there ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love can join us in this meditation, this now, in the circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment. Deep peace, stillness of mind, non-ego, tranquility and benevolence, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness. And they come in the gugaplexes from thousands of universes. Gugaplex fills one entire universe. There are multiple gugaplexes filling multiple universes, all converging here, of the highest of highest, deepest eternal love and gratitude. Feel that. And in. They join us arm in arm, hand in hand. Their gods with our gods with theirs. In this now, in this meditation, this circle of light, they are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes, and we are all one. And we are all love, and our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon all of the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, beneath earth. All of these civilizations, and only those who are of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love can join us in this now, in this meditation, this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, gentleness, kindness, peace, joy, happiness, generosity, humbleness, tranquility, benevolence, and they come in the billions, arm in arm, hand in hand. They join us in this now, in this meditation, this circle of light. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes, and we are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes, and we are all one. And we are all love, and our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon all of the galactics, off-worlders, the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, and many, many, many more. They have been assisting us in our evolution, in our enlightenment, in our ascension, in freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. Only those who are of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love can join us in this meditation, this now, this circle of light, because only those with the highest frequencies of deep eternal love can join us. Those in the lower matter frequencies cannot sustain being in such a high frequency. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, stillness of mind, kindness, gentleness, generosity and humbleness, peace, joy, bliss, tranquility, benevolence, and they come in the billions, arm in arm, hand in hand. They join us in this circle of light, in this now, in this meditation. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes, and we are all one. And we're all love, and our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon our loved ones, those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. And only those who are of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion and non-judgment, non-ego, stillness of mind, peace, joy, bliss, gentleness and kindness, generosity and humbleness, tranquility and benevolence. And they come in the billions, arm in arm, hand in hand, and they join us in this now, in this circle of light, in this meditation. And they are all one. And we are all one. And we are all love. And our gods are one. And they are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes, and we are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. And our God light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon all the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms on, in, above, and below this planet Earth, Gaia, in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. The fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, many, many, many more. Only those who are of the highest, deepest eternal love, from the highest, deepest eternal love, can join us in this now, in this meditation, the circle of light. They're in full compassion and non-judgment, non-ego, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, peace, bliss, joy, tranquility, benevolence, generosity, humbleness. And they come in the trillions. They come in shapes, sizes, forms, configurations, colors of which we have never laid eyes upon before. Their gods with our gods with theirs, they are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes, and we are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes, and we are all one, and we are all love, and our God light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. We look up and we see our meditative sphere. It sits center circle. This is a sphere we created. It houses all of our meditations in perpetual motion, hundreds of them in constant perpetual motion. The highest of highest highs of deepest eternal love, light, frequency. It can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. It uplifts the sacredness of space of all the universes. It transforms the low frequencies into the highest high of deep eternal love. It is constantly transforming all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, into the highest, deepest eternal love and gratitudes. You feel it as it floods you. Its power is endless. It is eternal. And we feel it flood and saturate our physical bodies, our temples, and also the kingdom of God within. It floods and saturates us inside and out, head to toe. It fills us with the understanding of the deep eternal love that we are. It literally lends us the frequency of the highest consciousness of existence, that which is of deep eternal love from source creation of all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. We are all one. We move together in seamless fashion. We appear separate, but we are sparks of the light of creation across a vast golden ocean that we hold in us as droplets of that ocean, its entire essence. We look upon the civilization of the planet, all of our brothers and sisters, which is all life, and we love all life, and we hold it as sacred in the highest of highs values in the universes. And we are the paradise, and we are the heaven, and we literally are transforming this planet effortlessly into the God planet, filled with the golden ocean and the deepness of eternal love and the deepness of the deepest gratitudes and the peace and gentleness and kindness and the love and the caring and the stillness of which we are. this is our journey that we have chosen with deep eternal love within these temples